sure what's going on here. Okay, it is noon and nobody has logged in for office hours yet, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do what I plan to do during office hours, which is talk about three-dimensional figures. If somebody pops in, great. Oh, look, here's one right now. Okay. So on here, we've got the stuff from class today about the two-dimensional figures. It's just a recording of basically everything that I did in class today. And then right now I'm going to go over three-dimensional figures. So let me get to that lesson. It's going to be a lot slower today than normal because I am recording this to make sure that first period gets the information about three-dimensional figures. Okay, there's a video on the lesson for you guys that talks about 3D printing. So make sure you take the time to get that checked out. 3D figures are often used as models for real-world objects. To choose the best figure to model an object, look for a figure that matches as many of the important characteristics of the object as possible. Okay. A polyhedron is a closed three-dimensional figure made up of flat polygonal regions. The face of the polyhedron is a flat surface on the polyhedron, right? So it's highlighted in green here, but there's also a front face, a back face, two side faces, and a bottom face. The edge of a polyhedron is a line segment where the faces of the polyhedron intersect. Right? So a line here, this edge here, edge here, edge here, edge here, edge, 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 lots of edges. Vertex of the polyhedron is the intersection of the three edges of the polyhedron, right? So all of these corners, I would call them corners, those are vertices. You can think about the like a box of any kind, a tissue box, whatever, right? So this is a polyhedron. The face is all of the sides, top, bottom, front, back, left, right. The edge is the where the sides come together. And the vertex is the pointy corners. The bases of a prism or a cylinder. Bases of a prism or a cylinder. Those are the two parallel congruent faces of the solid, right? So if you have a cylinder or a prism, the two bases are going to be the parallel congruent faces. The base of a pyramid or cone is the face of the solid opposite the vertex of the solid. So a pyramid or a cone has a really pointy little top. The base is going to be the opposite. A prism is a polyhedron with two parallel congruent faces called bases, connected by parallelogram faces. It's a lot of rhyming in there. Pyramid is a polyhedron that has a polygonal base and three or more triangular faces that meet at the common vertex. Things that are not polyhedras. right? Cylinder. This cylinder is not a polyhedron. It's round. This is not a polyhedra. This is not a polyhedra, right? A cylinder is a solid figure with two congruent and parallel circular bases connected by a curved surface. So not a polyhedra. Cone is a solid figure with a singular base connected by a curved surface to a single vertex, but not a polyhedra. A sphere is a set of all points in space equidistant from a given point, called the center. The sphere has no faces, edges, or vertices, so not a polyhedra. Polyhedra or polyhedrons, both are correct, are named by the shapes of their bases. So we have a triangular prism, because that's the base. A rectangular prism, because this rectangle is the base. Pentagonal prism, because the pentagon is the base. Triangular pyramid, because the base is a triangle. Rectangular pyramid, this is what we're used to seeing as far as pyramids go when you think about like the pyramids over in Egypt and stuff. And then the pentagonal pyramid has got a pentagon bottom. A polyhedron is a regular polyhedron if all the faces are regular congruent polygons and all the edges are congruent. There are 5 types of regular polyhedra called Platonic solids because Plato used them extensively. So your fancy named ones are your tetrahedron, which is a equilateral triangle. It's got triangular pyramid here. It's got the triangle base and it's got the triangle sides. Okay. Hexahedron or a cube. That's what people are most familiar with. You're most familiar with this. You see this a lot in the world. An octahedron. It's got 4 equilateral triangle faces, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe there are some games that use dice like this. I also always thought it looked kind of like a spinning top. A dodecahedron is 12 rectangular pentagonal faces, and an isosahedron is 12 equilateral triangular faces. I do not expect you to memorize those in any way, shape, or form. They're on our Canvas page, but so you can jot them into your notes, but I don't expect you to memorize any of them except for maybe cube. But that's because I kind of assume you guys already know what a cube is. Right versus oblique. In a right prism, it make the sides and the base make a right angle. And an oblique prism, it kind of looks like someone sat on it and it's like squished off to the side. Then I go on to do some examples. Then the check identifying 3D figures. So if you are here, go ahead and get onto McGraw-Hill and do the check identifying 3-dimensional figures. I'm going to give you a few minutes to get logged into that and work on that. And then we'll go over the answers.